Oh, George R.R. Martin, you're working so hard on The Winds of Winter. I'm sure it's going to prevent you from doing this. And I'm being sarcastic, of course, because we know that the minute that any Elden Ring movie adaptation shows up, he's going to walk right through those doors, do anything but write the novel that everybody's been asking him to for more than a dozen years. We covered it earlier this week with him writing weird physics papers, which don't even make any sense. George R.R. Martin has, of course, shown that he's just not capable of finishing this series, and it's a joke at this point. It really is. Now, I'm interested in an Elden Ring movie adaptation. I enjoy the game. I think it's a lot of fun, and, this could be decent, and I don't see a problem with having him input on it, other than the fact that he's not working on the one thing that readers actually want from him. But this is where we're at right now. We'll cover what he said in just a moment in fantasy news, everybody. Is that copyrighted? I hope not. Please hit the like and subscribe button and join us here. I would love for you to check out my fantasy series. It's called The Adventures of Baron von Monocle. It's a lot of fun, guys. This is about an airship crew that goes and quests, fights monsters, and then ends up embroiled in a really, really difficult war. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of action and adventure. You're going to love this. It is not like George R.R. Martin at all. I got to tell you that. We're very clean, very high-spirited. I don't like all the negativity. I actually don't like grimdark. Somebody asked me to write a grimdark novel the other day. I'm like, I don't like grimdark, though. So this is quite the opposite of that. And so if you like good, clean, old fantasy style, you're going to enjoy this. Go grab it. It's in the description below. Thank you so much. It's a 6-book series. If you want to start the whole thing this weekend, it'd be a great time to do so. It's available on ebook, print, and audio for your convenience. Game of Thrones creator George R.R. Martin claims that his work on the next installment of the Song of Ice and Fire, Fire and Ice, whatever, The Winds of Winter could prevent him from working on a film adaptation of the Elden Ring. I know, everybody was so worried about that. Elden Ring director Hidetaka Miyazaki floated the idea of a film adaptation of the game back in June 2024. Telling The Guardian, I don't see any reason to deny another interpretation or adaptation of Elden Ring, a movie, for example. I don't think myself or From Software have the knowledge or ability to produce something in a different medium. So that's where a very strong partner would come into play. We'd have to build up a lot of trust and agreement on whatever it is we're trying to achieve. But if there's interest, for sure. Cool. I definitely would be interested in watching that for sure. Now, in an interview with IGN, George R.R. Martin, who's busy giving interviews with IGN, so he can't write his book, who was commissioned to create lore and mythology for Elden Ring, shared that the talks of the movie are happening, saying, well, I can't say too much about it, but there is some talk about making a movie out of Elden Ring. However, he implied that his work on The Winds of Winter could prevent him from working on the film. We'll see if the Elden Ring movie comes to pass. And what the extent of my involvement was, I don't know. I'm a few years behind with my latest book. So it also limits the amount of things that I can do. It makes me roll my eyes at this point. You're more than a decade in able to do this, my friend. George previously promised he would have the book finished by World Science Fiction Convention in summer of 2020. He said that nearly half a decade ago. He said, I tell you this, if I don't have Winds of Winter in hand when I have arrived in New Zealand for Worldcon, and you have my formal written permission to imprison me in a small cabin on a white island overlooking that lake of sulfuric acid until I'm done, just so long as the acrid fumes do not screw up my old DOS word processor, I'll be fine. Oh my gosh. The book was obviously never completed, and Martin has moved on to a number of different projects while claiming he's been working on The Winds of Winter. He's clearly not been doing so. And honestly, guys, at this point, how old is George R.R. Martin? Let's look it up. George R.R. Martin age. He is 76 years old. I'm going to be honest with everybody here. He's lost his fastball. He's not there anymore. He doesn't have the capability of writing something this complex. I think I asked Grok the other day how many perspective characters there were in it, and it's beyond 30. It's something that you just can't close out very, very easily. And because of that, he's just written himself into a corner, and he doesn't know how to get out of it. And he also does not have the wherewithal to get out of it at this point in his life. It's really sad. But that's it. I don't expect this will ever get done. I don't expect anything's going to be coming about this. And it's all honestly because of George R.R. Martin's procrastination for a long, long time. And of course, the sprawl of the book and adding that many perspective characters to begin with. There was no reason to do so. He should have just, killed off all those ones and not killed off the characters that people loved. That would have been smarter to do. But hey, not my book series, not my problem. So, given Martin has been working on numerous other projects while The Winds of Winter remains unfinished, it's hard to take his excuse that he would not be able to work on an Elden Ring movie because of the book. Very seriously. In fact, earlier this month, it uncovered that Martin had published a new paper in the American Journal of Physics titled Ergodic Lagrangian Dynamics in a Superhero Universe. Very important stuff. The paper is described as a fictional scenario that provides foundation for a unique exercise in extended problem-solving, physics analysis, and quantitative model development. Yes, working on very important things that nobody's going to read. Furthermore, Martin joked back in December he might never finish it. He said in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, "Unfortunately, I am 13 years late. Every time I say that, I'm like, how could I be 13 years late? I don't know. It happens a day at a time." But that's still a priority, he added. "A lot of people are already writing obituaries for me. They're saying, oh, he'll never be finished. Maybe they're right. I don't know. I'm alive right now. I seem pretty vital." I don't know about that. But gosh, I would love for an Elden Ring movie to happen. The fact that it is in development and that it seems to be pushing along is a very, very exciting thing, not just for, of course, fantasy fans, but gamers in general. And so it's a big sort of thing, which is a lot of fun and a worthy project out there. I don't know that George R. R. Martin needs to be involved whatsoever. I don't know why they would actually go forward with that on that front. But if it is going to happen, he's going to just weasel his way right into it, and he's going to just be pushing on that level, and he's not going to be working on his book whatsoever. I doubt he's even working on his book this weekend, for a matter of fact, because it's been just too long on this front. The people who have been held up in epic fantasy really have not had the capability to pull off everything that they've done in recent years. We've seen this with not only Martin, but we've seen it with Patrick Rothfuss, who we roundly mocked on the channel earlier this week. If you didn't watch that, Brandon Sanderson's out there sweeping for him and saying that he's going to finish a trilogy. So that guy's even in a worse spot than George R. R. Martin, not even able to complete a trilogy of books. At least Martin's done a little more than that in his career. But yes, I don't believe him at all when he says he's working on any of this stuff. It just seems like too little, too late. And yes, I don't believe this book's going to come out in his lifetime whatsoever. And who do you think's actually going to finish his book? Leave a comment down below. I don't think it'll be Brandon Sanderson. I think it'll be somebody who's younger that this estate will come up with, who probably isn't all the way there. Obviously not me, because I don't like grimdark, so I would not be a good fit for that. But number two, I'm blacklisted from the industry. And if you want to support people that the fantasy industry blacklists, because we actually do the work, we're a threat to these people. I was banned from Worldcon while George R. R. Martin is out there doing his fun stuff, and it's been a lot of fun. I had to sue them over it, and that's kind of why I'm here. And this is my series, guys. It is The Adventures of Baron von Monocle, 6-book series, as I said at the beginning of the video here. I'd love for you to check it out. It's in the description below, ebook, print, and audio for all of your convenience. Let's make some fantasy great again. I think I'm going to drop a new fantasy book this week. Stay tuned.